Hi and welcome to this new timeless reading. Let's take a look at what frequency is activating at this point in time. And it's going to be 3 cards. The first one is details, the second one is what can be released, and the third one is advice. So let's see what frequency we're talking about. And we have the Page of Cups, and I'm getting an aspect of your creativity is accessible. Reactivating, and it was not available to you because you were going through a period where you had to do probably a lot of healing. And when that happens, it's as if like the brain waves will somewhat focus like in problem solving mode, and will kind of like you'll be in clearing out kind of like frequencies. So it's gonna be kind of like scanning and rescanning and over scanning like your whole entire field over and over again. And it requires a lot of energy, but when it's done right, at some point you just like clear a level, and then you come back into integration, and that is the equivalent of emptying like your closet, let's say, of like 2/3 of what was in it, like the stuff you don't need, you just give it away and like get rid of it, and the new space is now available to fill with something more useful. So let's say maybe like art supplies or sports gear or anything like that, and it's giving way to the possibility to anchor and reactivate a much higher frequency that I hear you had to put aside for many, many years. And now you're getting reacquainted with it. And don't put pressure on yourself about it if you're not like feeling it right away. Just play with the idea of it. Just be like reacquainted psychically, like and emotionally, if you will. And eventually it's going to be time to express it. But yeah, good job. It's pretty much like inner child energy that's regaining its like position in your field. It actually feels safe to come back online. And now what can we release? And we have the High Priestess, and this is what I'm getting is to think the structure you built for yourself previously is the best one or the only one. It's actually time to look at things from a different angle, and to elevate maybe even a bit more to make sure everything is safe and stable. And it might look different from the way you previously were operating in, and that's completely normal. So don't cling onto the old structure or way of doing things any longer. Just let it kind of like adapt and have some flexibility with it the time being. And now what is the advice? And we have the Six of Cups, and I'm getting to re-engage into your joy. That's what's going to help anchor the Page of Cups energy. And to re-engage with your joy is what I'm getting is to go for like walks in nature, if that's accessible to you. Also getting, if you can watch maybe some cartoons or TV shows you used to love as a child, as a kid, to put you back into that mindset, because it might trigger like positive memories and even personal imprints of who you were back then, and it's like even easier to bring them back. Like I did that, I think last week. I was brushing my teeth, and the theme song of a cartoon that was actually really not that popular popped back in my head, and I was like, wow, since I was watching this at between 3 and 5 years old back in the day, I don't even think I ever really thought of that theme song ever again in my life. And like I said, it was not popular, so it's not something like Sailor Moon or whatever. It's just like a super random like cartoon. It's like those like 5-minute cartoon episodes that they would kind of use as fillers between bigger cartoon shows, like one of those. So yeah, but like right away when it popped back into my head, like I cracked up and I finished brushing my teeth. And I searched for it on YouTube and I was like, oh my god, this is so funny that it just came out of nowhere. But that's the type of energy I'm talking about here. And yeah, so I found like a whole playlist of the show and saved it to watch it when I feel like it, you know. But just remembering the show and like watching the song online, the trailer, like the intro, like I was fully reminded of like sitting in front of the TV back when I was like in my family home and how I felt, you know. And back in those days, between 3 and 5, you're pretty comfortable just like being in your family home. You don't worry about money, food, or safety or anything like that. And you're just like super open to the world and like excited by very lively things. And like I remember it was like a martial arts theme. So right after I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do martial arts, and you're like 3 years old, you know. So that's the space I'm talking about. So whatever way works for you to reactivate that, go for it, and feel free to share like in the comments. So I hope this resonated.